Yeah, they got us. And that's that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Lombardi Time Brews. I am your host, John Delray. Yeah, this is the immediate post-game reaction from Lions versus Packers. Lions, of course, upsetting by Vegas standards the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field to close out the 2022 season. You know, a lot had been talked about. Can you just imagine if everything goes the Packers' way? You know, like if Washington loses and this happens and this happens and this happens and the Packers win out and then they get to week 18 and then they lose to the Lions. Yeah. Felt like it was either going to be this or it was going to be some fairy tale Super Bowl run, right? Well, here we are. If you're looking for this to be just this exposition of hot takes, you're not going to get it. That's not me, and it's not what's on my mind right now. No, you're not. You're not going to see me expounding about how the Packers need to fire Matt LaFleur. You're not going to see me wish that Aaron Rodgers never plays another down for the Packers. You're not going to see anything to that effect. However, we can say a couple things, and I don't think they're exactly hot takes. Ultimately, like I said in the pregame show, and I know some people took exception to this, but I don't think I'm incredibly off base here, and I think a lot of people would agree with me that the Lions are a more cohesive unit. They're a team, right? The Packers may be more star studded, may be more talented, but the Lions are a team that plays with reckless abandon. And I acknowledged in the pregame, hey, which Packer team is going to show up? Is it going to be the one that decimated the Vikings by firing on all cylinders, or is it going to be the October version that lost to the Giants, Jets, Commanders, Lions, that whole just streak that the Packers were on? And now that we know at the end of the season, look, they played some good teams during that losing streak, but the way that the Packers lost the game was perhaps the most concerning out of all of those losses. And now here we are again. The Green Bay Packers came out in week 18, and from the get-go, it just didn't feel right, did it? There is something about this team playing in the cold and dry weather, right? Like you think back to that Frisco game that was cold and dry. You think back to other games that they've just completely floundered and they're cold and they're dry, but yet you get a little bit of snow in there. And all of a sudden they start having fun again. I don't know if that's something or not, but it's kind of where my head is right now. But ultimately, boy, it just looked an awful lot like Detroit just wanted it more, right? Did the Packers cost themselves this game? In a lot of ways, yeah, they did. Did Detroit make a lot of nice plays? In a lot of ways, yeah, they did. They did. You can't take that away from Detroit. But yeah, I mean, you do not expect to win a game when Romeo Doubs can't catch either the good passes or the bad passes. You don't expect to win a game when A.J. Dillon can't catch an easy first down, when Alan Lazard can't catch. You don't expect to win a game when you've got Rasul Douglas doing God knows what at the end of the first half. Look, I mean, I get that they were trying to call a timeout, so he went up and swatted the ball. First of all, what the hell are you doing even trying to swat the ball? Second of all, and then to shove a guy right after that. And then you've got Quay. You don't expect to win a game when you're promising first-round linebacker who's actually playing really well in the first half. All of a sudden, for the second time this year, shove someone who's not even a player. I've said it a couple times this year that the Green Bay Packers feel like two teams that they're trying to mash into one, right? You have the hyper maturity of Aaron Rodgers, Mercedes Lewis, Randall Cobb. And then you've got these young guys full of swag, and yeah, at times with Rasul and Quay exemplifying it, immaturity. And it just feels like the Packers have tried to push this together, right? And I think what we see is that it's not a singular cohesive unit a lot of the time. The team lulled us into believing that they had a chance to make the playoffs. And ultimately, look, the defense did a great job over the course of the last month. The defense played really, really well. And now, again, here in Week 18, they held a top 5 offense to 20 points. Could the defense have played better? Sure. Am I going to pin this loss on them? No. The special teams, which have become so impactful for Green Bay today, or that had become so impactful for Green Bay as of late, certainly wasn't today. Detroit was ready for that, and they boxed in Keyshawn Nixon incredibly well. And, going beyond that, I don't know how, but Detroit, with one of the worst defenses in the league, playing backup cornerback since Jeff Okudah was out, and our offense can't do a damn thing. You just can't play like this and expect to win. One thing I can say is that the Green Bay Packers in some way need a course correction. The model that they presented this year, despite its flashes of brilliance, is probably not sustainable. This dichotomy on the roster feels like it's in a constant give and pull, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel like one cohesive team, does it? Certainly not when compared against a team with what seems like incredible culture in Detroit. Now, at the end of the game, it's much talked about right now. Jameson Williams asked to do a jersey swap with Rodgers, and he said, I'm hanging on to this one. So is this the end for Aaron Rodgers? I know that's being massively speculated right now. I'm not sure Aaron Rodgers knows the answer to that question. He could be hanging on to this one just in case. Or, given the way that he and Randall Cobb walked off the field together, maybe it's just that this is Randall's last game and he knows it. And Rodgers is keeping that jersey for him. I'm just attempting to put some things together, right? Matt LaFleur isn't going anywhere. He is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. So if you prescribe to the notion that LaFleur needs to go, by all means have that opinion, but I'm sorry, he's not leaving. In terms of Joe Barry, I could see it either going away, but honestly, I kind of lean right now towards he's going to keep his job. I will tell you what, though. This Green Bay coaching staff needs to have a little bit of Dan Campbell. Needs to have a little bit of Kevin Green. Right? Where on this coaching staff is the enforcer? And I know Jerry Gray has gotten a lot of headlines for lighting guys up at halftime and everything, and that is very much Jerry Gray's style. But is he that guy? Does Bisaccia need to have more leadership on the team? Because he's kind of our own Dan Campbell, right? With less biting of kneecaps. There will be change. There will be a lot of change. What that change is, I don't even think the Packers know right now. So, there you have it. The 2022 Green Bay Packers season is complete. They played their worst at a time when they needed to play their best. And so at the end of the day, they rang true into who they really are. Brilliant at times, immature in pieces, but overall, just not a good enough team to get it done. So, there you have it. It's a team that winds up with the 15th pick in the draft, not a Lombardi trophy at the end of the year. So, to the Lions fans, enjoy. You did it. You did it. I stand by everything that I said. I continue to. But the Detroit Lions played a hell of a game today, and they deserve the win. I like the Lions. I'm gonna be totally honest. I like the Lions. Packers could use a little bit of Lions in their game. But I will be back tomorrow. Going to be talking Packers tomorrow. I'm for sure going to be doing videos all of this week. You can bank on the fact that I'm going to be putting out content all off season long. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be sticking to my 3 videos a week platform all off season long. So if you subscribed here throughout the course of the season, stick around. I've got a lot more stuff coming. There will be a lot of draft coverage when the time is coming. Mini camps I'll be covering in depth. And then when it gets to training camp, I know this is a long ways away. It feels like eternity, right? But when it does get to training camp, I'm anticipating going every day and possibly going live from training camp every day. So if you want to stay in the know about the Green Bay Packers, hang around on this channel. I will be here for you every single step of the way. I don't know what I'm going to talk about this week. I don't know yet. I'm sorry. But what I can tell you is right now I'm going to go take a little bit of time, absorb this loss, think it through, process it, and I will be back here tomorrow afternoon, probably with shout-outs and get-outs for Lions versus Packers. And then this week you may see shout-outs and get-outs for the entirety of the 2022 season, as well as finishing up our positional MVP series by covering the defense this week as well. Thanks for joining me here at Lombardi Time Brews. I do hope that even though this didn't turn out the way that we want, I do hope that you enjoyed the ride of the 2022 season. Mason Crosby, Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb, Allen Lazard, Aaron Jones, the list goes on of Green Bay Packers that may not be back in Lambeau next year. So I do hope you at least appreciated the good moments, even if there weren't as many as we hoped there would be. Thanks so much. I hope you have a good day tomorrow or whenever you see this. Hope you're having a great day. And even tonight, always, go Pack, go.